Good day, great day, and grand day to you all. Welcome back to another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Thank you all for joining us again. And today's topic is kind of an extension of previous discussions that we've had. This is going to be part 4 of lessons. One of the questions that we came in with, or that someone reached out and asked, was that how do we know that what we're doing is correct? How do we know that it's working? Or how do we know what we're getting deep down within is accurate? And so one of the things I want to say about that is, first, when you're dealing with the spirit realm, or when you're dealing with your highest self, when you're dealing with the Creator, when you're talking about struggles and you wanting help, the first and foremost thing that I want to articulate and really pinpoint, right, and stress is the level of honesty within you. Consciously, like, we know sometimes that we make excuses to do things, or the mind conjures up ideas and thoughts because it wants to appeal to a desire that is of the mind. But when going through the process and really understanding that you are sincere and honest with yourself, and in addition to that, having pure intentions, then you're bound to get results. You're bound to feel different. You're bound to seeing results in your life and situations occur in your life, and ways in which you might have responded before, you no longer respond that way, but respond differently based on the newfound enlightenment that you've received based on a situation or an event that has happened in your past. And if it's somewhat happening again, you can see your response based on that. And when you've noticed that your response is different, that is indication that you are making progress. But I have to stress the aspect or the attribute of being honest with yourself, because you can't fool your spirit. You can't fool your higher self. You can't fool your spirit guides or your spirit helpers or your masters and masses of light. These are ranges and classifications of angels in the spirit realm. You can't fool them. They see everything. So you have to be earnest and honest within yourself to see results. If you're not going to be honest, or if you're not, going towards or really facilitating this idea or the skills and the guide that I'm giving you, which I've done for myself, which I've helped others to do for themselves, if you're not honestly doing this, if you're not honestly embarking on this journey, then no, you will not get results, because your spirit will know when you are honest. Your spirit will know when you are truthful. And so I did want to speak to that. And when I spoke to the individual and I mentioned about spirit guides and things like that, the further question, or the next question that they asked me was, well, what do I mean by spirit guides and spirit helpers? So when you get to that point within yourself that I've articulated in our past, or in my past videos, when you get to that point within yourself where spirit has shown you that there is a void in you that you've been trying to fill from outside events, or from people outside of you, or from vices that you may have, when you have void within you and you are realizing that those voids is because there is a lack of love, because there is a lack of deservingness, because you don't feel that you're worthy enough. When you've come to that point, that and the understanding and the acceptance of that void within you, only then can your spirit guide, can your spirit helpers, can your higher self help you to fill that void. Because it's in that void that you're trying to fill externally that only your spirit can fill for you. And I want to articulate that and stress that even more, because sometimes people feel like once they've gone through this process and they haven't gotten any results or feel any different, they tend to get discouraged. And I want to share with you that it's in the continuous effort, it's in the sincere, continuous effort that your spirit will respond. Now, your spirit may not respond to you auditorily where you can actually hear it. Your spirit will respond in a way where you can actually feel it. Remember, your spirit, or your feelings rather, are the voices of your spirit. So understand that you will feel better internally. You will feel peace internally. You will feel love of self internally. That's where you're going to measure whether or not this is working or not. Not in materialistic things, at least not right away. I'm not saying that your spirit guides or your helpers won't show you in a material way. The objective of this is to feel whole, to feel love for self, to feel at peace. That's the initial feelings that you're looking for. That's the initial feelings that you want to be able to feel, so that when you have these feelings within you, when you are feeling whole and you're loving yourself more and you are more appreciative of the day-to-day and having gratitude for self and having gratitude for the things you obtain, when you're filling that foundation with the essence of love, with the essence of peace, with the essence of happiness that all comes from your spirit, then you will see as time goes on how you have changed, how you have grown in awareness and consciousness by the decisions that you make, and the recognition that the decisions that you're making in that moment after you've gleaned happiness, peace, love, joy, that these decisions that you're making are supporting more of your essence and less of the false identity in which you've had before, or the false ideals in which you've expressed before. You're making decisions now that supports your newfound discovery of self. And when you notice that you're making decisions that supports you of where you have grown to, you know then that's another marker and understanding that you are growing. So there's different levels of how and what growth of consciousness looks like. The awareness of self-love, the awareness that you are a spirit being having this human experience. The more you engage in the healing of the essence, the healing of your sense of self, the healing in your mind, increasing of consciousness, the more you do that, the more you feel whole. The more you do that, the more you grow and make decisions that support the new sense of you. The other thing that you'll discover, which I've mentioned before, is that you attract different situations. You attract different kinds of people. You attract more of what supports you and your higher self. So I did want to point that out and answer the question that I did receive on the Dr. TSA questionnaire. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to send those in. Shortly, I will follow up with understanding the different levels of angels and the hierarchy of spirit realm. But I did want to answer that question. But once again, thank you all for watching. I am so appreciative of the questions that are coming in. I'm so appreciative of you, the viewers who are watching these videos. Again, once again, I do this for you all. So thank you all for watching. Remember that you are loved. Mwah. Namaste. Bye. And there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA Series, a spiritual discussion. Thank you once again all for watching. Remember to click that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, remember you're loved. Namaste.